Welcome to the second day of the Conclave. It's a great pleasure to see so many eager faces at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. And for a subject that is not necessarily very conducive to a good diet. I was just thinking that we are gathered here in India to discuss terror and its relationship to religion. One of the interesting facts about our country is that in the last 60 years, we have been uniquely privileged to have terrorists from every single religion in this country. We've seen Christian terrorists in Nagaland, supported, and I make this point quite consciously, supported by Reverend Scott, a name who's completely forgotten, but will be lying somewhere in the history books and, I gather, in British intelligence archives. We have had Muslim terrorists all through in Kashmir and recently elsewhere. We have had Sikh terrorists in Punjab, each one being purified by their faith before he launched into quote-unquote battle. And we've had Hindu terrorists in Ulfa, and if you consider the Naxalite movement to have any terrorist inclinations, then Hindu terrorists all over the country. This much I'll say, of course, for the Naxalites, that they do not profess a faith, that they're atheists. But still, the point is that we have had, through our diverse experience, and therefore, I don't believe that any of our faiths in India actually advocates or propagates terrorism. Hinduism believes in non-violence, but non-violence is not sacrosanct to Hinduism. After all, the two major epics of Hinduism are war epics. And any faith which has war epics cannot consider non-violence to be a sacrosanct idea. It's a preferred idea, not a sacrosanct idea. Christianity did not develop a war doctrine until after the institution of Christianity as a state faith, which is in 325, 327 with the arrival of the Byzantine Empire in Constantinople. Islam has had a war doctrine from the time of the Prophet ﷺ himself, because he embodied in himself not merely the arrival of the message, but also, not only deen, but also dunya, which was the exercise of power as the Imam of Medina and eventually Imam of all the areas which came under Muslim dispensation. It's an interesting point that there is no jihad verse revealed to the Prophet as long as he was in Mecca, as long as he was persecuted, as long as he faced so much persecution that he almost was killed. It only came when he had to run a state, because as in Mahabharata or Ramayana, it is impossible to run a state without a particular war doctrine. Islam, I've actually, in order to make great clarity, or perhaps encourage clarity, I have sometimes described as one of the good definitions of jihad lies in Krishna's sermon to Arjun, that there are moments where war is necessary to prevent chaos and disorder. You cannot let the world descend into disorder.